Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. We should be live right now. Hi, my name is Gal Level. I will be your host today, and today we have a very special stream. Actually, we are going to be checking out Adobe Express. Now, recently I had a sponsored stream on Twitch about Adobe Express, where basically I went on Twitch. We had this 2-hour live stream where I showed people how to use Adobe Express and also how to create basically stuff for content creators. We created starting soon screens for Twitch. We created YouTube thumbnails. I showed them how to make a stream schedule, how to do a Twitch banner, profile picture, all of that good stuff basically. And I'm basically gonna try to relay that info to you guys here on YouTube. I'm gonna have it in the form of a live stream because I feel like it's easier for me to express myself that way. But what I'm gonna do essentially is basically give you access to all of the things that we created over on my Twitch channel. I'm gonna give you access to all those free templates that you can start using right now for completely free. Plus, Adobe Express is available on mobile, so you can download the app and actually modify those things and have them ready from your phone, like super fast. Anyways, without further ado, let me switch this scene real quick. And this is my Adobe Express account. So as you can see, we have a couple of templates here, and those are the ones that that are already available for free. All you have to do is click the links in the description. But I'm gonna go over the basics of Adobe Express first, so that if you're watching this video in the future, or if you're watching right now, you have a reference to how it actually works, so that you can actually modify those templates. Because if you don't know how it works, then the templates are gonna be useless. Not really, but you're gonna figure it out. It's super intuitive. But anyways, so when I go to my Adobe Express account, well, it's not gonna put me in projects. It's gonna put me here. It's gonna give you a ton of inspiration, and there's a bunch of stuff. Now there isn't much like gaming stuff, which is where I come in basically and show you how you can make all that gaming stuff. But if you're looking for inspiration, if you're looking to make things like planners and schedules and flyers for events, like they have a lot of those. You can just type in and then find a bunch of stuff. Adobe Express is free to use. They have a premium version, but the free to use version already gives you a bunch of stuff, including animations. Like you can create like small videos for social media and stuff. But anyways, we're gonna click on the big plus here, and we're gonna create something custom, basically, right? So we're gonna go to popular, and here it's gonna tell you, are you trying to make an Instagram story, maybe a Facebook banner, a YouTube thumbnail, a poster, something landscape or whatever. Let's go with custom actually, or just standard. And now we're gonna have like more options. If you pick social posts, for example, you're gonna have more Instagram formats. You're gonna have still YouTube thumbnail. Let's go with YouTube thumbnail so I can just show you. Adobe Express is free. It's free to use. Yes, absolutely. There is a premium version, so you can have access to things like specific Adobe stock photos, but you can use everything else for free. Like, unless you're really looking for Adobe stock photos, yeah, you can use it for completely free. Like right now, click the links in the description. I have the templates are in the description, and then there's my link for Adobe Express in general. All right, so to explain everything, on the left, Adobe Express is gonna give you basically the assets that you're gonna add to your project. They have a thing where the background is kind of separated, so you can pick a background and that's its own thing. So if you're creating something that has a transparent background, yes, you can export transparent PNGs for free. You don't have to pay. Wink, wink. Looking at another. Anyways, so if you want a transparent background, you just don't pick a background and you add whatever you're gonna have as a background. You add it as an image. But you have templates, for example, if you just want to start and you don't know, like you have this blank page and you don't know where to start, you click on template and you can type whatever. For example, here it automatically picked a thumbnail because I picked like the format of a thumbnail, and I can just click on this and I have a thumbnail, and all I have to do is change the text, change the picture here, and then type whatever I want, you know? This could be a good thumbnail, for example, if you made a cooking stream and that's your highlight video, right? Maybe also, if I can type properly, boom, just like that. And you click on this and you put your channel, you know? Anyways. So that's how easy it is to just like pull up a thumbnail and just make it happen. I select everything now. I want to delete everything. So that's one thing. As you can see, it added this this background here. We're gonna So apart from thumbnails, there's also text. And when you click on text, instead of just adding a text and then you have to modify, it actually gives you, it has templates for text, right? So one thing you can do is actually, change this to dark. You can actually just click on text and then find a thumbnail that you like. And then you immediately change that and then boom, it's working, right? Instead of adding the text and finding the right font and finding the right format, finding the right decoration, you can just click on a thumbnail and then you're good. All right. And if you don't like the thumbnails, that's fine. You just click add your text and then it's going to add your text, right? If I click here, it's going to be like, boom. It automatically detected that my background was black. So it put a white text on it. All Gucci. That's the other thing with Adobe Express is that it's intuitive in the sense where it knows what you're trying, like, it's not like Photoshop. You don't get like complete freedom because it's trying to help you all the way through, right? So for photos, this is where I talked about Adobe Express Premium. Certain photos will have that little crown on there, and those are premium photos, right? So you don't have access to that with your free account. But I think they have something like 15 million photos or something like, there's a ton of photos. So you should be able to get by just fine. Let me type something. Let me do something very gamer boy-ish, since I know my audience. I know that's the type of stuff that you guys would enjoy, right? So if I have this, boom, let me get rid of the text for now. You can, I'm gonna tell you exactly all the things that you can do with your photo later on. But for example, okay, I picked this picture and it has this white background. We can actually remove the background pretty easily, actually. But anyways, let's continue on the left panel. Photos, you can also have shapes, very basic shapes. Sometimes you just need a circle. Sometimes you need a shield. If you're creating logos, for example, this is where you're gonna go to create those basic shapes at the bottom, just so that you can have those, like if you want a shield, you want swords, you want all that kinds of stuff to decorate your logo. This is where you would want to go. And some of them are like, they're logo ready, pretty much. There's a ton. You type whatever type of thing that you're looking for, and then you just import it. Look at that. You just click once and it's basically gonna appear. Put whatever color you want. So that's the shapes. And then you have design assets, which is what I love the most, I'd say, because as a graphic designer, this is something that I do a lot, is I go look for design assets, but I look for them on Google Images, right? And sometimes I end up using things that are not copyright free, all that, and I'm stressing about it. Those are a lot of PNG images with actual transparent backgrounds. And one of my favorite things to use is the brushes, as you're gonna see per the thumbnails. And things like that, you know, completely transparent. And on top of that, if I click on it, I can add a filter that we're gonna go through filters. I can just change the color as I want, right? This may not seem like much, but if you were to do, like, if you're looking for that kind of asset, you're gonna go on Google, you're gonna find fake PNG images. You're gonna have to separate them from the background. You're gonna have a bunch of stuff that is watermark and all of that. So Adobe gives you all that stuff. Adobe Express gives you all that stuff, I should say. I'm holding control on my keyboard and scrolling to zoom out. There's a couple of shortcuts, but you don't have to use them. You also have the zoom up top here if you want to. So those are the design assets, which means like if you're looking for things like lens flare, let me type flare or maybe lens flare or light leaks. That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but those are interesting nevertheless. Oh, I'm still in brushes. That's why. I was like, that's weird. It's giving me brushes. There you go. And now we have some light leaks. And those are pretty nice. And here, for example, we have this light leak. I know it may not seem like much for now. If I place it here, because it's using the wrong blending mode, I can go here and select screen. And I can do enhancement to bump up the contrast, lower the brightness, so that it blends in. It's basically completely transparent, right? Now I can just place this wherever I want. Oh, it has the filter to it. There we go. So if I wanted to add that effect to like my picture or something like that, that is definitely something that you could do. Anyways, let's delete this. So design assets is everything you can think, right? You want to add like a cool, I don't know, anything that you can overlay on top of your stuff. that you can overlay on top of your design. Anything you can really think of, just like design elements that you can just add to your thumbnail. If you're making like a YouTube thumbnail, this is like super great. Logos, this is like supposed to be for your branding. This is a premium feature, so I'm not really gonna go over it. This is your logo. Basically, Adobe Express has this thing with the premium stuff where you can set up your logo, set up your color scheme, and set up your branding basically. And then when you pick a template, you just click one button and it swaps out all the logos in the template. It swaps out the fonts, it swaps out the color scheme just to make it yours. It just matches your branding automatically, including your logo and your selected font. But that's a premium feature, so I'm not gonna be showing that today. All right. Okay, now that we have access to, I'm gonna add a text just to show you. Now that we're done basically with the left side, I want to show you everything you can do on the right side. So when you're not selecting anything, first of all, you have access to colors. This is basically your color palette, right? If you watch my videos, you know that I'm always rambling about your color scheme, your color palette. You have to pick like matching colors and all that stuff. Well, Adobe has something called Adobe Colors, where it's basically showing you a bunch of different color schemes. So you can set up a color palette here, but even better than that, as you can see here, there's a shuffle button where it can basically shuffle the color palette for you, but also shuffle it on the project itself. I don't know if you realize, it shuffles it on the project itself. So you can make a project and then just click shuffle until the whole color scheme. You don't have to think about the color scheme before the project, right? You click shuffle and boom, it just gives you a different vibe. This is not the best project right now because it's just a test, but you get the point. If I were to add like a shape and all that stuff, it would switch out the color scheme. So that's one of the options you have here. Animation. Yes, you can animate. It's slight animations, right? Don't think you're gonna do like some After Effects anything, but there is an animation button. If you create like a normal thumbnail and you want it to be animated for like, for example, on Twitter, because you think the video is gonna have more impact, you can do that too. You click on animation and you just click typewriter, for example, and you can export this as a video and it can loop, right? Dynamic is another animation that you can have. So it shows every word and then it puts the whole thing. You can have a flicker is one of them. I actually like this one because it loops in a little bit better. There's variation for each animation, as you can see right here, right? So there's 3 variations for dynamic, and there's 2 variations for typewriter. This one, for example, right? There's additional animations here. Color shuffle is one of them. There's fading in and out. There's slide. I don't have time to show you all of that, but not only you can animate the text, but it's basically one animation tab for the whole project. So if you have a picture behind that text, you can also choose to animate it here. Now in this case, it doesn't work because our image is like a square here. There's also blur. You can blur the image and have like a dynamic kind of focus in, but it doesn't go all the way into focus. So I wouldn't really necessarily use this. There's also color where it can swap colors and stuff like that. But those are the animations basically. I'm gonna click on none because we don't want to work with that. And you can export as an MP4, also for completely free, by the way. Anyways, so animation, we have layout. If you want to change the layout a little bit, I don't really use this. I usually pick my layout manually. And then there's design, where it actually gives you, it can, like, you can create a project and then it basically gives you variations. It shows you, hey, your project could be looking like this if the picture was there and the text was there. So if you finish a project and you don't really like it, it will basically suggest modifications that you could do and you can see them in real time, which is kind of amazing, you know? Anyways, let's talk about the options that you have. Of course, when you select anything, you're gonna have here, you're gonna have duplicate, you're gonna have layer order. I'm gonna show you where the layer stack is, and then you have delete, right? Bottom here is where the layer stack is gonna be. Because yes, it may be like something that you can modify super fast and all that, but you can also click and drag layers and stuff like that, as if it was Photoshop, right? As if it was like a proper editing software, which is really, really cool. What else? Actually, let me change. I can color pick here, for example. If I want one of the colors for the background, I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, it adds that color automatic. When you pick a color, it adds it automatically to the color palette. So you can go back to it and make sure that you're not, you know, putting different shades of that one color that you really want, right? So, so for the text, you have multiple options. You can click and drag in order to make things fit and all of that. But you can also pick on top of like your paragraph, like align left, align center, align right. There's also like magic alignments, which is something that I'm not familiar with, but you can make it do some pretty cool stuff. For example, curved, you can make it in a circle, semicircle, and that way. And then there's grid in a certain way where it forces it to match like that specific format. It can be middle, it can be left. And then there's what I really love, especially for YouTube thumbnails, which is capitalize and fit. So it's gonna take that box that you have, and it's basically gonna make whatever word is on top or bottom. The word that is singled out is gonna be big. So this is great for thumbnails. This is like super. As you can see, click is gonna be the big word here, depending on what we're doing. Double, of course, and it's just gonna match whatever size you want it to fit. Is gonna magically basically you make everything. Of course, if it's one line, it doesn't do that. So that's one of the align options. We're gonna keep it here. Nice. All right. Okay, something that's kind of only text is the shape here. Well, it's not really only text, but you're gonna see. If I want a background, basically it says shape, and here I can do this. Wouldn't want to do this really, but let's say, right? And you actually want the text to be white. You can do that. There's much more. You can mask the text. You can make it fit like this and stuff like that. Easy, like logos, 2 seconds and you have a logo going, right? But this is not necessarily something that I would use personally, but hey, if you're making a logo. And another thing that I love is font recommendation. So you'll make a project and maybe the font doesn't really match. For example, here we have an army thing and we have this serif font. It can tell you, hey, maybe you should try this font, and you can click explore more, and it's gonna keep giving you suggestions. So you can see what your text is gonna look like in a different font before you actually choose it. And this is, I don't know how this works. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if this is AI. It's figuring out, you know, the project and what you would like, but it does that. You can add shadows, of course. You can color that shadow whatever you want. Really want that shadow to be black. You have a little bit of settings here, but the shadow can't be soft, for example, right? You do have your limitations, but the whole point is to be able to do that stuff very, very fast, right? Okay, and that's pretty much, that's a fast look at text, basically. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna change the text color to white, and I'm gonna show you something that is amazing with Adobe Express. So we have this picture. It's not our picture, it's part of the Adobe Express thing, but we can use it. For example, if I wanted to make this an overlay, you can remove the background because right now it has a white background. It doesn't really fit. You just go here, you click remove background. You wait a little bit, and then you can actually refine that background if it didn't cut it right. But it turns out that it cut it right on the first try. So boom, now you have this background, and now this is your project, right? Let me actually change the color a little bit. Maybe I want a gray. Cool. And let's see how fast we can make something. Oops, not what I wanted to do. You can do this right here. If I wanted to have my chat somewhere, I would probably go to shapes in order to find like a rounded rectangle under basic shapes, probably. Oh, it doesn't have to be rounded, to be fair. We'll just find an outline right here. Fill, I can just turn it off, and then I have a little bit of a border. Turn that down. I'd probably have the chat somewhere over here, and I would have actually no, I would have my chat somewhere like nice, right? And then you can create like a separate label that you can put underneath. If you wanted to have your social here, you can also create that. Keep in mind, if you don't like the font, just scroll down a little bit and boom, it gives us another suggestion, and this look a little bit better, right? This is basically, those are the basics. For the image, I want to go back to image just to show you a couple of like the filters and all the things that you can do. Filters here is basically color filter. So you can change the color of an image in order to make it match your color scheme if you have to, right? There's multiple, you have multiple settings. So you have duotone. So that's like how you change the color. For example, for me, I would probably go with this. I would go with purple, definitely. Or you have different types of grayscale, or you have, what am I saying? Or you have grayscale, darken, contrast, all that stuff, basically. Little filters to make your image look better. And then you have enhancement. This is like manual things that you can use to make your image look better. So you have contrast, brightness, of course. You can lower the brightness. I would probably lower it here. Saturation, of course, highlight, shadow, warm, sharpen, all of that good stuff. Actually, I'm going to keep this on because I like the way it looks. We can collapse that. You can blur it. For example, this is good for backgrounds. If you have a background, you don't want this to be too you don't want it to basically capture the attention too much. And then you can add a different color, by the way. If you cut out an image, you remove the background, you can decide, hey, you know what? I actually want another color for the background. In my case, once again, it would probably be purple because you guys know I love purple, right? So those were the basics, the very, 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 very basics of Adobe Express. And I'm going to show you these templates that you guys can download right now. In the description, there's a bunch of links to multiple things. And I'm going to, well, based off of everything that I just showed you, how long was that? 20 minutes? 20 minutes, I explained everything pretty much. Based off of that, what you can do is modify those templates to make it yours, switch out the colors and everything like that, right? And you can do them on your phone, and the app works like super well on phone, right? I'm trying to think of anything that I didn't show you really on the editor here. I think that's pretty much it. There's a couple of things, but I don't think you can create multiple pages. You can copy the pages. You can replace stuff. I think that's pretty important actually. If you click on an image here, let's say you want to replace it, it automatically opens this up and you can replace it with this, for example. It's gonna take a while. This is a huge image. I think I just clicked on, right? You see that? And just like that. So if you were to upload your photo, same thing, it would just replace it with your photo. So on my templates, I have a couple of, well, I have my photo everywhere because I was creating templates to show you what it would look like. There you go. You would just click and replace with your own photo. If you have like a video game character, if you don't show your face on Twitch or whatever, that's completely fine. Just replace it with a video game character, right? Here, if I want the background to be a little more edgy, I can type something like grunge. And of course, they have like millions and millions of backgrounds. I don't even know what this is. Replace background. And they're all like super high quality, which is not always like the best thing. Oh, I think I messed up. Oh, I replaced the wrong thing, which is not necessarily the best thing. That they're like, to keep everything super high detailed, you can just blur them if they're, you know, too visible. For example, here the colors don't match. What I would do is obviously I would go to filters and I would find like a filter that kind of matches the overall feel of the project. Anyways, so this is going to be saved automatically, by the way. Everything you're doing, you don't have to worry about saving and all that stuff. It's all saved automatically. Once again, you can click on the link in the description. Let me go back to my projects and let's talk about the templates that I have. As you can see, it created this project. It's called My Project, which I'm probably going to delete because I don't want to use it. Boom. So here we have a stream label, a labels bar. Basically. So as you can see here, the background is white. It's because there's no background, which means that I can actually click download and export with PNG transparent background, as you can see here. And that is completely free. That's not part of premium or anything. You can start downloading. If you want a JPEG, if you want a PDF, you can also do that. I think it's premium only. They have a thing about scheduling for social media, which I haven't used yet, even though I have premium. It's wild. That means you can create stuff straight in Adobe Express and then immediately plan it to be posted at a specific date on your social media, including Instagram and all that stuff, right? So the labels bar is intuitive. You would click here. If you want to replace, for example, you would be like, hey, I don't have, let's say that you're not affiliate yet, right? And the diamond represent bits. and the star represents subscriptions. You would click on the diamond, you would click replace, and then you would find a shape that matches you. We all know that heart would be the thing closest to representing follows, for example. So you would want to have follows, and boom, there it is. It replaced it right there. It gives you a little guide so you can center it. And just like that, you just replaced it. In this case, you would probably want a crown for like top donator, because I believe, yeah, if you want three labels as a non-affiliate, you would want follower, donator, and then top donator, right? I would just replace this by a crown. In this case, I can just type crown. It doesn't have crown in basic shapes because it's not a basic shape. I should have seen that coming. And if you just go back, it still has crown here, and now you can find a crown of your liking. I like this one. Isn't that the actual Twitch Prime crown? There you go. And then when you're done, you just export it, download PNG, transparent background. It's gonna ask you where you want to download it, and you have it. There it is. All right, boom. Actually, I don't have a labels bar on this stream. So what I can do is, in my OBS right now, what I'm doing is clicking on a new source, going to image, clicking OK, browsing, and finding that one that we just downloaded. And just like that, boom, I have a labels bar. Now I can go in Stream Elements, or you can upload this in Stream Elements, or if you're using Streamlabs, you can you can just add the labels, and just like that. Now remember what I said about the color scheme. For example, I chose purple because that's my color scheme. All you can do is click on, what you can do is click on colors here and just click on shuffle if you don't know what your color scheme is. Just make sure to get rid of the background eventually though, right? Actually, it's not changing the color of the shapes. What you can do is, oh wait, setting up your brand. You would have to set up your brand to make this work, but as you can see, it's giving you ideas. I don't know if that's, there we go. And here you can still, even if there's a background, by the way, even if it adds a color to the background, let me go back and actually add, let's say it does this, right? And you're like, oh no, my transparent background. It doesn't matter. It just added a color to the background. If you click download, you can still download it as a transparent background, right? It can still be like, hey, do you want to export with the background or without, you know? So that's how you basically modify this. I actually did not want to I actually do not want to change that project, but it's my project anyways. It's different from the template, hopefully. And starting soon screen, for example, I created this one. I put an image in a shape. I added two brush assets. It's still loading, and as you can see, it's animated, right? So you can animate your starting soon screen, and as long as you click on loop, it's going to loop it. And you can pause. There's a little pause button at the bottom here. Actually, I think my webcam is in the way. So you have access to those templates right now for free. Links in the description. So this is what it looks like. And if you want to replace it, of course, just click on this. Click replace. If you have your own photo, you can click upload photo, right? And then you go find a picture that would match. Here I have this picture, random picture that I'm uploading. And boom, there you go. Just like that, I replaced it. And it already has like some enhancement, but you can turn that off if you want. You can add your own filters if you want. All of that good stuff. So it's that easy. It really, really is that easy. For the socials, of course, you click on the text. Well, actually, those are grouped. So you would have to ungroup, right? And then you click on each text, and then you put whatever your at is. That simple. Let me go back to projects. Here we have like a YouTube thumbnail. Exactly the same thing. So this has the remove background. So if you were to upload an image, I believe it would automatically remove the background. Let's test it actually. Let me add this one. We'll see if it works. There you go. Just automatically, just like that, congrats. You can put your own face and then just change the text by clicking on the text and editing the text. That easy. You can click on those dry brush filters, and the color is actually under filters, right? Remember when I said you can change the color by using filter? You can make this whatever color you want, right? If you want this to be yellow for some reason, boom, there you go. Change the color here, click on the text. It's part of the color palette, and now we have a completely different looking thumbnail. You can even change this to match. There it is, just like that. It takes like a couple seconds when you have those templates, right? Keeping in mind that you can also change the background color and all that stuff. It's super duper easy. So I'm just gonna go through the rest. I think you got it. I think I've explained everything that I can explain here. This is a stream schedule. A lot of streamers should be using, especially as post for social media if you want to show your brand and also let people know about your scheduling. I think it's pretty cool to use like a schedule. I created this one, so you can just call it whatever. You can just call it stream schedule. It doesn't have to have a name for the week. And then you have Monday. You can click on those individually, change them. You can put the hour next to the day, to the specific day, and yeah, tell what your days off are. If you stream more than that, you can add just more text and all that. You can put your Twitch channel up there. Easy clap. Let's show you some more. This is a Twitch banner. So this is the exact size for a Twitch banner, and it already has like some socials here. Again, you can, oh, that's actually not normal. Yeah, that's supposed to be here. Okay. It already has social, so you can click on here, change the social names just to make sure. You can hold control and scroll down to zoom out a little bit. You can hold space to grab and move. And again, you can replace the pictures. You click on the picture, you click replace, you upload your own, or you pick up a picture that that is already here. That they already have, right? Replace it by one of those pictures. There you go, and just like that, we replaced it. We can shuffle the color scheme again if you want to see what it would look like. Or you can just pick one of the color schemes that Adobe is suggesting you, right? Depending on the vibe you're going for, you can even search for the mood. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, profile picture, I also created an example of adding a picture, removing the background, adding a brush at the background, adding this dark blurry background, and also adding those assets, those little light leaks. That's how you can create like a cool profile picture. And this is just a, well, it's a circle outline. I don't think I need to tell you that. The circle outline. Keep in mind that if things are hard to select, you can always go in the layer stack right here. You can see all the layers right there. And it's not a lot really. Background, that brush stroke, the picture, the circle, and then the two light leaks. So I made that also available. Links in the description right now, chat. One of the important ones, the Twitch panel. This one is simple. I don't think I need to explain it. You just click on the text, you modify the text. If you want to change the font, you can go ahead right here, right? Or you can let Adobe basically suggest you which font you would want here by clicking explore more. Change the colors by clicking on them, switching the filter. Basically getting accommodated with it. This one is not available. I haven't made this as a template because I was just playing around with it. Crypto is a character from Apex Legends, by the way. This is not cryptocurrency. But I wanted to see if I downloaded an image, like for example from a character from a video game, if I could make the color scheme match. The background would probably have to be a little darker. You can see here I have an option, replace as background. I can do that too. I can just type dark. And of course I can blur it if I wanted to. So this is like quick YouTube thumbnails, just in a couple minutes. I was gonna say seconds, but it can be done in seconds, to be completely fair. This one has a little bit more layers because I added a bunch of different little ink splotches like that. This has a filter. There we go. Change it like that maybe. But this one is not. I didn't make that one available because I was just messing around basically. That took me a couple minutes to actually make. You can make that too. And that's it. That's basically it. For the templates, you have a profile picture, a Twitch banner, a YouTube thumbnail, a starting soon screen, a labels bar that you can add to your starting soon screen once it's done, a stream schedule. You also have a Twitch panel. All of that for free that you can access right now, even on your phone. It's probably gonna ask you to download the app, and you can just tap, modify it super fast, and then export. If you're on desktop, preferably if you're using OBS Studio and things like that, you can it's just gonna bring you to the website. The first link is just gonna be Adobe Express. We're gonna have it for free, and then the rest is just the templates. Just link in the description, chat. Link in the description. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Gil, your views on Pixlr. I haven't used it in a while. I know I have made videos, I think, about how to make emotes with it, but yeah. Hey man, I want to say thank you so much for all your help and videos. Actually, let me go to this scene and bring chat here a little bit. Thank you so much for your help in videos. They are really easy to follow, especially for someone my age, 48, trying to make a go at content creation. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. Don't Panic says your guides are awesome, man. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for watching what I do. It's the most important thing. You guys are the reason why I keep going. And yeah, I made this stream on it took me 2 hours because I really wanted to show all of the different things that Adobe Express does. What I showed is just a part. That's just the editor of Adobe Express. You can trim clips. You can actually create little montages of your Twitch clips. You can trim them. You can put them at the right format, get them ready for TikTok and things like that. There's so much that you can do. You can convert clips, all of that good stuff. But I just wanted to show you the graphic design part because I have those templates for you that are free right now. So yeah, grab them while you can. Just wanted to say thank you so much for your knowledge and tutorials. Thank you. I appreciate it. My phone gave me no choice but to click on this. Thank you. But anyways, that's pretty much the stream. I absolutely appreciate you all for stopping by. I actually went a little faster than I expected. That's 38 minutes in. But that's all the time it takes basically to understand Adobe Express and start using it. Make sure you click on the links in the description. I'm gonna keep this stream up. I don't know if it's gonna be unlisted at first, but I'm gonna make sure that it's up and running basically for you guys to come back and still click on the links. And if you have any questions, you're gonna be able to put them in the comments. All right. Okay, now how do I end a stream on? Oh yeah, I found it. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this was a exclusive Gal Level live stream. I will see you next time. Go out there, make me proud. Gal Level, out. Are you not waving? You better be waving at your screen right now.